What's up guys, it's Average On making average content for the average viewer, and today I want to make a video that's a little bit different to what I've been making so far in my coverage of Battlefield 2042. So far I've been focusing mainly on subjective tips and tricks and things like that, patch notes and all those sorts of things, but today I want to make a video that's more of an opinion piece, a way that I can actually express my true thoughts and feelings about Battlefield 2042, and a way that I want to start like a real conversation with you guys down in the comments. I want to get rid of all this bandwagoning and circle jerking and just saying things for like a reflex, for a response, and I want to have a full-on proper conversation with you guys about what our actual thoughts are about Battlefield 2042. I'm going to start this video by saying I really do enjoy Battlefield 2042 at its core. This game fundamentally has the basis of a great first-person shooter game, and I really am hopeful for the future of this game. That being said, it's hard to ignore so many of these glaring issues that we are faced with on a day-to-day basis when it comes to Battlefield 2042, and I want to discuss those things, and I want to tell you guys why I'm personally not giving up hope on this game, and why I'm going to stick it out, and why I think that this game could go down as being a very good game after a few tweaks and a few updates. Now look, I know this is a highly contested area at the moment. I know that so many people are getting frustrated with people saying, oh yeah, but it'll be fine in a couple of months. I want to get the point across that I actually think that it is fucking disgusting that games do release in these unfinished, broken states. I don't think it's right, and I don't condone it in any way, shape or form. At the end of the day, yes, they are toting this as a games as a service style model, but truthfully and honestly, if we're paying upwards of £60 for this product, some people are paying more than £100 for this product, then we should at least get a functional game upon release. The majority of this video is going to be quite positive, and I'm going to talk about why I think this game is going to do well eventually, and I think is going to be good eventually, but I don't want any of you guys to think that I am in any way, shape or form forgiving the people responsible for pushing this game out so early and so unfinished, because ultimately it is damn right disgusting. But with that out of the way, I do just want to go on and say some of the things that I really do think show hope for this game and for the franchise as a whole. And the number one thing that I want to talk about first, it's got to be communication. The communication from the devs has been absolutely stellar since the release of Battlefield 2042. People like to talk shit to these devs. People like to tweet them and at them and give them so much hate. And I think that that's actually really damaging. The fact of the matter is, the reason that you feel like you can talk to these developers and actually send these messages in the first place is because they're so open with their communication. Look, so some of you guys might know that when I started this channel, I was actually covering Battlefield 5. And then during that summer, when they decided that they were no longer going to support Battlefield 5, I swapped to making content on Call of Duty Modern Warfare and then onto Cold War. For all my sins, that is what I did. Now, what my content ended up being after a while was just me ranting and shouting in videos a lot harsher than this, and a lot of that boiled down to the pure lack of communication that came from the Call of Duty developers. During the lead up to these games' releases, all the developers were loud on Twitter and talking about all of the great things that were coming in their new game, and then the game released in a shocking state, and poof, they disappeared into thin air. They left the games to die, and they gave us absolutely no communication when it came to the things that we as a community were angry about. Now, if we take that and look at it into the context of Battlefield 2042, I can name at least 5 different developers that are actively engaging in conversations with people on Twitter, and not only that, they are taking on board the feedback that people have and they are implementing it directly into their patches and making changes at a very fast speed. I'm not saying that it's okay that these changes need to be made in the first place, but what I am saying is, if we can get this much done in the 3 weeks after launch, if we take it a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year down the line, I'm really hopeful that this style of communication and this sort of relationship that we have with the developers can take this game to new heights. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about that I really do think gives me hope for this game is the core fundamental gameplay loop that Battlefield is known and loved for. Now look, I know the 128 players thing is a bit of a mess. I know the maps are far too big, and I know that there's no variety when it comes to the core game modes. But what I want to say is, when you look at how they've implemented Rush in the last week, That is so much fun. They have made no changes to the core gameplay loop that is Battlefield 2042, but yet it's so much more fun. And the fact of the matter is, it's so easy for these guys to just add rush, add a smaller conquest, add a smaller breakthrough mode to the game, to the core game, All Out Warfare, and it will make so many people that much happier. I know a lot of people have a problem with specialists, but the way that specialists work in Rush, with the exception of perhaps Sundance, who can just fly to the MCOMs and win every time, but apart from that, I actually think that the specialists are working really, really well in Rush, and I think that they add something to the game. I don't see them as the gimmick that I thought specialists were going to be when they were first announced, and I actually see the value in choosing the correct specialist for the correct situation, and then synergizing with the rest of your squad so that you can get some really cool plays. I actually dig that. I actually think that that's really, really cool, and it is a natural evolution of the class system. Now, I know that a lot of people will disagree with me on that, but that's just what I feel. I feel like specialists really can add something to the Battlefield 2042 experience, whereas the main issue that I think we're seeing at the moment is that Conquest is just so vast. Conquest in All Out Warfare is absolutely huge, and what this leads to is a very frustrating gameplay loop that if your squad members aren't in the action where you want to be fighting, 9 times out of 10 you're going to have to spawn somewhere and run a literal fucking mile just to get into some action. The same can be said for Breakthrough, but on a different scale. In Breakthrough, the 128 players condensed into such a small area of the map can often lead to quite frustrating deaths where you're getting killed by someone who's just managed to flank behind your whole squad, or you're just aimlessly posted up behind cover with 60 other of your teammates just popping random shots at people hoping to get that one bullet to actually finish someone off when 6 or 7 people are already shooting at that one guy. These are the things that have a really simple fix, and yes, people might enjoy these bigger 128 player maps and they might enjoy playing this, and that's fine, you can still do that, but give us the option to have a smaller conquest, a smaller breakthrough, Rush as a full-time mode. Don't just make these things limited time, make them staples of the franchise once again, and I really do think that it's going to bring more people into the game and make a lot of us veterans who have been playing Battlefield for more than 10-15 years a lot happier with how the game plays. Look, the main point of this video that I want to get across to you guys is that I really think that Battlefield 2042 is a bright future, especially when you hear about all the things and all the big changes to do with Battlefield that are coming in the very near future. Different games, different studios, Vince Zampella for Christ's sake. All of these things culminated together really do give me extreme hope for this franchise and Battlefield 2042 on the whole. I just hope that these changes keep coming as fast as they have been, and I really hope that the core player base, the true Battlefield fans, don't fall off this game and don't just leave it to die, because I think that if we all just have a little bit of patience, even though the game might not deserve it at the moment, but if we can have that bit of patience and resilience, I really do think that we'll be in for a treat with Battlefield 2042. Now look, that's all I really wanted to say for this little video. I know that it's a bit different, I know that you guys subscribe to me for tips and tricks and that sort of thing, but I really do think that these style of commentary videos where I just get my raw thoughts out there for you guys to have a conversation with me about, I really do think that they are important in building this community that we have. So, for those of you who have watched my channel for a while, you'll know that I love to see who sticks around until the end. So if you're still here, I'd like you to let me know by answering this question down in the comments. Would you rather always have a blocked nose for the rest of your life, or always be slightly constipated? Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm Average Joel. Peace.